Good morning, my thirsty friends. Today we are in Beaumes de Venise at Rhonea cooperative. So this is our first cooperative, and we actually decided to work with them already 4 or 5 years ago, because they are really one of the best cooperative in France. They really have a focus on special certification, including of course organic, biodynamic. So today we are with Michael, who is in charge of the export, and who has organized for us wine tasting of some of their wines, and then we will visit. We take the car and visit some of their vineyards, with some focus today on especially Beaumes de Venise, where we are today, because I believe this is really one of the most underrated appellation in Rhone Valley, with very unique characteristic and so stay tuned. So we are with Michael. So Michael will tell us more about the cooperative and their engagement toward sustainability. Thank you very much for welcoming us today at the Beaumes de Venise cooperative. So tell us more about the history of the cooperative, and how did you start to focus on sustainability?
Okay, thank you, Eric, and welcome to Rhonea.
Thank you.
So Rhonea is more than 100 years of history. It's a union of the cooperative from Beaumes de Venise, Vaqueras, and now also Rasto and Visan. So it's a 4 wine cooperative make a group together. And now we have a strong involvement in sustainability. For example, we are going to try some wines which are organic wine. We also have a biodynamic wine, and we have something interesting because we are also sustainable wine growers. And Rhonea is one of the founders of the association, Sustainable Wine Growers. It means sustainable wine growers is not only in the vineyard, but in the whole process. It's from the vineyard to the glass, by comparison to organic wine. Organic is mainly in the vineyard. Sustainable wine growers label is for the whole process. For example, in the office, inside the facility, it means we want to reduce the impact on the environment, to reduce the entrance in the vineyard. Everything is important for us. And for the future, we have the target to have the full vineyard to be organic within 10 years. In the next 10 years, we want to make the conversion of all the vineyard into organic. We are starting with a single vineyards range, single vineyards collection. We find out that we have a very rich terroir in Beaumes de Venise, near the Dentelle de Montmirail. So we want to vinify separately, so you can find the difference between the terroir. This one is called Bel Air, and it's a very old terroir, mainly argilo-calcaire, so it's clay limestone terroir. It's a vintage 2018. Here is the label. The label is interesting. It explains the altitude, the harvest time, and the terroir. Yeah. So obviously it's going to change on every vintage.
And the yield. Yeah, definitively. This wine, I found it very interesting because it's 2018 vintage, and you can already feel, there's a bit of evolution in the color of the wine, but mainly on the nose. I'm getting already some tertiary character with some truffle-like flavor. It's beautiful, very appealing now. 18 was a fresh vintage, so you feel that the wine is also quite delicate. Is not really heavy. That's probably one of the reasons that the wine has aged and is already seems to be mature in by point of view. So it's a very good wine to drink now. I don't need to store it longer. The view are on the light to medium side with light medium tannins which are already integrated the wine. So yeah, nice effort, I would say, but I look forward for the rest.
So next one will be La Beaume. It's a terroir mainly made from Marne Noir.
Yeah, black marne.
Black marne. And this terroir is a little bit older. All this rich and very complex terroir come from 60 million years ago, a cold volcano which emerged and came up and bring up all the very rich and very old terroir to the surface. So it makes all this appellation a very specific terroir. It's unique in the world.
Yeah, I mean the nose seems a bit more classic, more useful compared to the previous one. I found it very spicy, not that fruity, very like Mediterranean spice, almost also like some pine tree, a lot of botanicals, I would say. It's not too intense, it's quite discreet at the moment. I think the wine needs a bit of time, let's say, to open up further. Definitely a much bigger vintage, 19. Bigger tannins density. They are still a little bit on the firm side. Good level of freshness. I mean, you don't feel that much the alcohol, despite is 14.5. Definitely a wine for food, and some rich food, and not so much intense in flavor, but at least which are rich in fat. Otherwise, yeah, you need to wait this wine for a few more years, I would say, to really get the best of it. And finally, my favorite. I mean, I should not say that, but I have yes, coup de cœur for this a few years ago when I came first. So this one, yes.
Is Terre du Trias, so it's from the same collection, single vineyard. It's the oldest terroir, the oldest soil is made from Triassic area, from the time of the dinosaur, very old. It's made from gyps and molybden, which is very good. It's part of clay. In the clay terroir, you can find some water irrigation naturally. So you see here it's very hot and dry, especially in the summer. So even when it's very dry, the soil gets this natural irrigation, which is very important.
Yeah, something I also was spotting is this also the wine that you have as the latest of the three, at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said something very interesting because here, as you know, you came by bicycle. The weather is very hot and warm, so naturally the wine it got a lot of sugar and early maturity. The tannin have to be strong tannin, but our winemaker is working to get smooth tannin, something very well balanced, and I think we can feel it today through the tasting. It's high alcohol on every wine, sometimes 15 degrees, but you don't feel it too much in the mouth during degustation, and it's quite smooth tannin.
I love the nose already. I think this one is already very expressive. Still, I would say useful if we compare to the 18 we had before, which came from a vintage which was a little bit lighter, so which has matured faster. You get also a lot of mineral, like flinty notes. Of course, I mean the classic Mediterranean spice. Some dark fruits, like some plum. So there's quite a nice level of complexity, and definitely I can see this wine really developing if you cellarise it for a few years, but otherwise you can already enjoy it now. It's very open. Yeah. Mouth also is it's a serious wine. I mean, for gastronomy. Also a very rich tannic structure. The tannins are very elegant but powerful. So it definitely also still needs some time, you know, to get this silkiness, which will come, you know, with time. I would say probably another 5 years. So it's a wine which is really not about sometimes compared to some other cuvée I tried, which are very round, creamy. Here it's more about focus on the depth and the freshness and the structure of the wine with the tannins which have been extracted and come from very good skin grapes. So yeah, very good effort. Lovely. Et voilà, we made a stop in Beaumes de Venise to have a look at the scenery, which is just mind-blowing. You can see, and you can see the vines, and most important, the color of the soil, which I mentioned to you is slightly pinkish and come from the Triassic period. So we are stepping on the dinosaur right now. Sorry guys, but thanks again for giving us this wonderful terroir that allow those grapes to produce this nectar. Here's another stop to have a look at the mountain, the Montmirail, and you can see, you know, it's very sharp and it has like a teeth shape, and this is what is well known for dentelle. You can see all surrounding, which is very much protected with a lot of forest around, a lot of botanicals, thyme, laurel.